Okay. Morning, guys. Chilly this morning, but you can see in England it's going to be very sunny today. I want to try and do a couple of lives early this morning. I'm trying to do some stuff in the garden. I'm trying to fix my wife's car. So I have trying to clear the afternoon, so I'm free today. So obviously, my usual dilemma every day is, what do I talk about? Because hi Frederick, how are we going? Morning. I've got dirt on my hands where I've been in the garden. So the topic of this live stream is Priscilla Presley's plastic surgery. I wanted to just completely change a topic. The reason I've decided to do this topic is because this came up on my feed, and I did think it's just something we never talk about. Now, I'm not covering this topic. Yeah, you're up too early, Frederick. I'm not covering this topic to insult Priscilla or call her names. Please know this, guys. As much as I expose Priscilla for her wrongdoing to Elvis, Lisa, Riley, etc., it's never hate, and you will never hear me call her a name, ever. You will never hear Louis call Priscilla a nasty name. I don't do it. There's no hate in this heart. I can't hate. But you will hear me expose Priscilla's wrongdoing almost every day, because there has been so much wrongdoing by Priscilla, and her wrongdoing, to me, feels like it's been ignored. Honestly, guys, the wrongdoing of Priscilla, to me, feels like no one cares, except for the Elvis fans. So, of course, I will bring up all the wrongdoing of Priscilla. I'll do it most days, with no hate. So when we go through this topic, we're not here to call her names. I want to discuss and understand why Priscilla made this decision through her life. I don't know when it started. We're gonna learn together. I want to understand. Yeah, Priscilla was beautiful. I want to understand why Priscilla went down the road of plastic surgery, silicone injections, and all that kind of stuff. I've never understood it. So what I thought was, instead of me doing loads of research trying to understand it, I thought, let's do the research together with Team Elvis. Let's just together understand it, what happened. So I want to play a bit of this video. I want to thank Frederick. Frederick, thank you for sending me some documents. I've had a few of you now send me documents concerning the whole Graceland thing, the leasing of Graceland, the companies, Joe Weisschenker and Jack Sodden, and Priscilla Presley Partners, Bridget Cruz thing. Loads of you have sent me loads of stuff. I had Amy Collett send me some very long messages explaining to me how it all works. It's a lot to take in, guys. It's complicated. Frederick sent me some brilliant documents. I'm not going to start reading out documents. The one of the documents that Frederick sent me was 110 pages long. Now, guys, I leave that to Presley Mania. Presley Mania is the queen of documents. She will read out detailed information about lawsuits, Rhonda, yeah? It's her thing. Now, what I will do is I'll touch on the highlights. So I'll give you the highlights of, the very complicated world of business that concerns Priscilla, Elvis, Riley, Finley, Harper, the different companies that are set up and all that. So anyway, let's stick to the topic. Priscilla, so I just wanted to thank Frederick for sending that to me. Priscilla wanted to stay youthful, but one time she went to a dodgy surgeon and she tried many times to correct it. Morning, Karen. Morning, Debbie. Morning, Pat. Now, let's together try and understand what happened. Yeah? Remember, we are learning as we go, which is the best way I find that Team Elvis. I like it best when we learn together. Yeah? I always say this, Elaine tells me off. I always say this, I ain't no expert. I ain't no expert of Elvis or Priscilla or any of them. I'm just a fan with Team Elvis that defends Elvis and Lisa Marie every day. Yeah? And the whole bloodline every day. And I like to learn with Team Elvis. That's my way of doing things. I don't want to bury myself in books and documents and stuff. I want to have a light-hearted chat with Team Elvis. Just go through things and learn as we go. And this is how we're going to do this live stream. Is generally how I like to do live streams. Okay, guys? You know, you guys send me hundreds of things every week. I tend to pick one thing and go for it. Yeah, we learn together. So I don't know how many of you have watched this, but this is obviously a very famous surgeon, Dr. Gary. Let's have a look. Let me look him up. A handsome man, looks like an Elvis fan to me with his haircut. Gary Motaiki. I have no idea who he is. This came up on my feed, so let's have a little look, and we're going to click on. I've just seen another one there. Actually, I want to click on that a minute.
Priscilla Presley is a...
Hang on, we're going to go back.
Hi, I'm Dr. Gary Motaiki.
Right, guys, let's just have a little gander. Now, please, I only ask you one thing. No insulting and no horrible name calling of Priscilla. That's not why we're here. We're not haters. Okay, guys.
And I'm a Beverly Hills board-certified plastic surgeon. And today we're going to talk a little bit about a couple different things, but silicone injections in the face in particular, and also Priscilla Presley. The reason we're talking about both of these things is, one, to try to educate you about not injecting silicone into your face, and then two, Priscilla's just been in the limelight recently because of the new Elvis movie that came out about his life. And so there's some photos that popped up more recent of her, and she's also admitted that she's had silicone injected into her face, and she's been dealing with it for many, many years. So we're just going to talk a little bit about how that might have happened and how to prevent yourself from getting those things injected into your face.
So I don't really know who this guy is. We're going to be clicking on a few different things. I'm not going to play all of it. I'm just going to get an idea of if he understands what happened to Priscilla. I'd like to, at one point, we're going to Google it and find out when she first had plastic surgery. Okay. So let's learn together, guys.
Picking on Priscilla Presley, but her spokesperson actually said that
I'll pause it. Is it working? All right, all right, okay. Sorry, I forgot to plug my earphones in. Let's plug the earphones in. Sorry, guys, sorry. Lucky I checked the messages. Right, okay. All right, here goes then.
Sometime in her past, she had industrial low-grade silicone injected into her face, and that's not a good thing. It's like the same thing that people...
So did you hear that? She had industrial silicone injected into her face. So it should be sounding okay, guys. Give me a yay if it's sounding okay.
Used for greasing car parts and different sorts of things, and it's not something you really want to inject into your face. Having said...
Do you hear that? It's what they put in cars. Terrible.
That back then, a long time ago, artificial fillers or dermal fillers, hyaluronic acid fillers, all these sort of things didn't exist. So people were trying to inject things in their face to make it fuller, more youthful. And back then, some people were injecting silicone. I think.
Now, guys, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I've had this conversation with my wife. She's, where they have the Botox type stuff for their forehead and maybe some lines here and for the lips. I always say to my wife, don't do it. Don't do it. Her friends have done it. Quite a few of her friends have done it. Even one of her friends actually does it as a job. Luckily, my wife has never done it. She's never done anything like that. She's never touched herself. Even some of these creams that you can buy, guys, these very powerful creams that have got steroids in, they're not good for you. They make your skin feel smoother, but the long-term effects of these expensive creams, they can in the long term make your skin much more cracked. So I always say to my wife, keep it natural. Keep it natural. I'm no expert. I always say to my wife, as less is more. Less is more. My wife's very pretty for her age. She's in her 40s. She's a gorgeous woman. But I don't believe in adding loads of products on, guys, and fillers and Botox. And the more natural, the better. I really believe that. That's just my opinion.
I think sometime after that, there was collagen injections, things like that. And then more recently, like I said, we have the hyaluronic acid fillers. But back then, that's all they had. And there was a doctor named Dr. Daniel Serrano, who was well known in the Hollywood circles to be injecting the silicone into celebrity faces at their houses. And eventually, actually, he finally got caught. He wasn't an actual licensed physician in the United States. He was from Argentina. He actually served prison time and was deported back to Argentina after serving 18 months.
Let me read this. So this so-called fake surgeon injected Priscilla Presley with low-grade silicone, is arrested. So he went to prison, yeah? Let's see if we can learn anything more about this.
But in the meantime, he did a lot of damage to a lot of celebrity faces. So from the court record...
I mean, that is sad, isn't it, guys? I'm guessing that Priscilla felt she could trust this person. Maybe he was even recommended to her by a friend. Who knows?
We know that some of the celebrities were on record for having the silicone injected into their faces. We know about Priscilla Presley. It was also in the court records, Larry King's wife and Lionel Richie's wife also had injections into their face at their...
So why do these people do it? They're obsessed with being youthful. Me personally, I'm 58, yeah? I'm 58 in July. I think older women are gorgeous. I think older women are beautiful. I've always thought it. I've always thought that women, as they get into their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, can look beautiful. If even 80s, if they don't have all the fake crap, all the fake bullshit.
Their houses or at their homes, they would have Dr. Serrano come over, they'd pay him cash, and he'd inject their faces with silicone.
So Dr. Serrano, yeah? So we'll probably look him up a minute. Dr. Serrano, yeah?
Usually the records say that he was charging somewhere between several $100s to several $1,000s to have the silicone injected. Again, this is low-grade industrial silicone into their faces. And then a lot of these women started complaining as...
Do you hear what he says? Industrial silicone into their faces.
As we know, time goes on with silicone injections. They start to form scar tissue, lumps, bumps, hardening in the face.
And this has happened to Priscilla, hasn't it? Lumps, bumps, scar tissue, hardening in the face.
Such as their lips, getting lumps in their lips, not being able to drink liquids in their lips.
I mean, that's horrific, isn't it, guys?
Lumps in their faces. So all of these things started to pop up, and that's when they started to go after Dr. Serrano. According to the authorities...
Which, that man should be in prison. I wonder where he is now, guys.
In the case, Dr. Serrano would...
He's not a doctor, is he? They're calling him Dr. Serrano, but he ain't a doctor.
Give out business cards saying that he was a doctor, even though he wasn't a doctor in the United States.
Right, so there's the name. Dr. Daniel Tomas Fuente Serrano, MD, in Beverly Hills, celebrity aesthetic injector. So he's the guy that literally ruined Priscilla's look. Now, I have to say, guys, Priscilla was a very, very beautiful woman. Even into her 50s, she was still looking stunning, wasn't she? Let's be, no matter what our views are about Priscilla, she was one of the best looking women in the world. Yeah. So it's a damn shame, isn't it, guys?
States. And then he would also go around to local cosmetologists, estheticians, different providers in the community and tell them, if you refer patients to me, I'll give you a referral fee. And there's some of that still goes on even today for different sorts of things. I don't think it's a great idea that somebody's being referred for money. They should be going to somebody because of their reputation and their skill and not necessarily because they're getting a referral fee. And then he would go to their home.
All right, so so that's how he got business. If you referred a friend, you get a fee, a referral fee. Is that right?
And inject them at cocktail parties, different events. And I think the thing about that, again, is these people had no idea who this person was. He's also...
So, introduced it at cocktail parties. he used to go to their homes and treat them. And that in itself is scary.
Kind of a fraud. He wasn't really a doctor in the United States. And then he was injecting illegal, low-grade silicone into their faces.
Ugh, God, it's sickening. I'm surprised none of them died. Injecting illegal, high-grade industrial silicone into their faces.
And charging them cash. So a lot of
And they paid in cash. What is that?
those things, again, are warning signs. Be careful. You don't necessarily want to have a doctor come to your house if you don't know who they are, don't know their education, don't know what they're injecting in your face. All of these things are warning signs, big red flags that maybe you shouldn't be doing this and having something injected in their face that you have no idea what it is. So again, you have
it's common sense, in it, guys. It's common sense. If someone's going to start sticking a needle in your face, you want to know that it's not going to kill you, not going to poison you.
to say, what was Dr. Shano's motivation? Do you think he really wanted to create beautiful results and really cared about not causing harm and wanted to help these patients to look better? Or was he more interested in the money? And the court document.
Well, we know the answer to that, but guys, come on. No matter what we think of Priscilla, she didn't deserve that. I don't care what anyone says. Now, she has made a mistake, obviously, because she's obsessed with looking youthful. I personally think people should grow old gracefully. It sounds to me like it's even possible she tried to get it done cheap. What do you think, guys? Did she try and get it done cheap? But is Priscilla very insecure? Is she paranoid about her looks? Is she scared of aging? You know, there's so much going on here psychologically, isn't it? That I can't believe that such a beautiful woman, and she was beautiful in every decade. She wasn't just beautiful in her 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. She was still beautiful in her 50s, maybe even 60s. I can't believe that she made these drastic decisions.
And say that as the silicone flew out of his syringes, the cash poured into his pockets. And they said something like they found more than $1 million in cash in his safe deposit box at the bank. And then they also said that he didn't use any sort of sterile technique. He would use ungloved hands to inject the silicone. The bottles weren't alcohol swabbed. All these sort of things, again, are just awful warning signs. Yeah. And I think that
all of that is like what he just said. Crazy, literally unbelievable that someone as famous, successful, well, I don't know if successful is the right word, but someone, such a high profile person, yeah, it's crazy that this can happen to you. You know, I'm surprised, you know, how many times are we told that Priscilla is this very smart entrepreneur who runs an empire, but then she goes to what seems a bodge-up so-called plastic surgeon, fake doctor. It's crazy. You'd think she would be smart enough to not do that. Why did Priscilla do it? I don't get it.
If you're ever in that situation, get out. And then secondly, one of the worst parts about this wasn't even the immediate effects. There could have been infections, there could have been other problems, but it's the long-term effects.
So Debbie, I'm sorry, Louis, but she was an enabler. She deserves what she gets. Debbie, you got to understand where I come from, yeah? I'm a Christian man, yeah? I have a good heart. I have no hate in me. Forgiveness is a big part of me, yeah? So, of course, you guys are entitled to have your views, your feelings, be angry, be upset. If you want to hate people, it's not for me to tell you guys how to be, but guys, no one deserves this. I don't care what the circumstances are with Elvis and Lisa and Riley, all of it. A lot of the stuff is very upsetting. You know how upset I am, guys, about this disgusting stuff that happened to Lisa. But to hack someone's face up, to disfigure someone for life, nah. No one deserves that. No one deserves that. So guys, I will always say this to you. You will never hear me call Priscilla a disgusting name. You will never hear me refer to her plastic surgery in a disgusting, derogatory way. I won't do it. I haven't got it in my heart. So I am Debbie. I do understand what you're saying. I completely understand what you're saying, but no one deserves that. No one deserves that. Honestly, I'm sorry. I don't want to disagree with people, but I have to tell you my heart, okay?
Of what he was doing. So like I said, a lot of these patients came back with lumps and hard rocks in their face, holes in their face. And then worst of all, it's very hard to get the silicone out of the face once it's injected because it was a liquid silicone. So when they inject it into the face, it incorporates into the tissue, forms scar tissue. And that makes it very difficult to remove because particularly in the face, there's very important structures, nerves, blood vessels, other things in the face. So a lot of these women that got it injected were stuck with it permanently for the rest of their lives. Again, I think even...
See, look, do you know what is heartbreaking about that? And that is, there's no fixing it. He's basically saying, once you've had those injections and that silicone has gone into your skin, blood vessels, whatever, I'm no doctor, it's almost impossible to remove it and undo the damage. I think he goes on to say that there's a little bit you can do with the lips, but come on, guys. Could you imagine someone just injecting your face with a load of poison? Basically what's happened here.
Priscilla Presley, when we started talking about her, she to this day still has silicone in her face, most likely, because as I said, you can't remove it. So a lot of these women are still walking around today with silicone still in their face.
Yeah, so Frederick said, someone's mentioned, right, I hope Riley never goes down the road of this kind of silicone plastic surgery stuff. I don't think she would. We don't know, do we? Some people are very insecure, very paranoid. Their self-image is warped. Yeah. So, why people go down the plastic surgery road is scary. I've had a few ex-girlfriends that did plastic surgery, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I think they were really beautiful before. I personally think they ruined their looks. This is like it's like 25 years ago, but I still, guys, I'm anti all this crap.
One exception would be the lips. I know that there's women, and I've removed it personally from people's lips where they had it injected a long time ago because there isn't as important kind of nerves and structures in the lips. So you can sort of remove it from the lips. I still don't advise injecting into the lips. And if you can remove it, then you can sort of replace it again with maybe the patient's own fat or hyaluronic acid fillers. But again, it can still lead to scarring, lumps, and bumps. So again, don't inject silicone into your face or into your lips or actually anywhere in your body. I would say.
I think that's as good advice as you're going to get. Don't inject anything into anywhere in your body. Let's just play a little bit more, then we're going to play a different one. But all of it is, for me, this is quite sickening. All of it is like, this is happening to real people. Yeah. People that are hoping to improve their looks, to be more youthful, to get rid of lines, maybe to thicken out their lips, to get rid of lines here and here. But at what cost, guys? What are the long-term implications?
Some things to take away from this is I always tell people never inject anything permanent into your face for many different reasons. First of all, like we said right away, it can become infected. Other things can happen. It can turn into lumps. It can form scar tissue. And then also importantly, the face is going to change, right? So as we age, the face is going to move and change. So if you put something permanent, it's going to move around as you're aging and changing, and it may not end up where you wanted it to be 10 years ago. And then, like I said, very difficult to remove it. So once it's in that face, the other thing I want to say is as we age, not only does it move, but the skin, the fat, your face will thin. And as that thins, that's when these lumps also start to appear. So it's something long-term that you may look okay right away, but over many, many years, it's going to start to shift, move, form lumps. Your skin and other structures are going to thin. It's going to start to show up more. So then a lot of these patients have to try to cover it up. They're injecting fat over it, fillers over it. They're getting really poofy. It's really a...
Oh, God. Yeah. So what he's saying is, so eventually, once the mistake has happened, once they've been disfigured, let's face it, they're disfigured. Priscilla, how can I say it without sounding horrible? I'm not going to use that word. I think that word's degrading. Priscilla's looks have changed. Yeah, obviously she's older. Of course, she's about to turn 80. But he's basically saying that what they then start doing is doing more treatments to try and hide the damage caused. Yeah, which makes them look even more worse, more bodged. So it's just horrible. It's a vicious circle, isn't it? It's like you're trying to fix the damage that caused by having these procedures. So, but by doing that, you get worse. So I think Debbie said it. A lot of very, very famous people have had, horrible plastic surgery. I'm sure we can all think of different people that have just gone down that road of plastic surgery. Priscilla didn't need to. She didn't need to. I actually think Priscilla, if she had done no plastic surgery, even at she's about to turn 80, was still a beautiful elderly lady. Yeah, regardless of what we're upset with her about, she was still going to be beautiful at age 80 if she didn't. All the treatment really from the nose downwards, it's very sad, very sad. Let's have a look. So Priscilla's face has been pulled so tight that she has lines each side of her mouth. Yeah, I agree. It's not good. Yeah, I've never heard of these parties. Is it an American thing? Hi, Kate. So are there parties for people to have fillers and Botox and all that? I don't know if that happens in England. I mean, we can't ignore that she's about to turn 80, so she isn't going to look 30 at 80.
Permanent
I mean, this guy, he knows what he's talking about, doesn't he, guys?
disfigurement. So I don't want people to underestimate how much damage something like that can cause just because there's a party and everybody's doing it. Let's inject a little silicone into our face or lips. Don't do it. Be very careful about that. And then
don't do it, guy. Anyone, obviously, we ain't going to do it, are we? Come on, we're all getting on. Now, I agree that some of my daughter's friends are having Botox. They don't need it. They're all beautiful. It's like, do they realize that 10, 20, 30 years down the road, it's going to look odd?
In general, like I said, one other warning sign is where are you getting injected? Now, it's not always the case, but if you're at a house party or somewhere that's not a medical establishment, may not have sterile technique, may not have FDA-approved injectable material, it may be illegal materials. But I do think there are some cases with very high-end celebrities where they know their doctor, they know he's a licensed physician, they know his background, and they come to their house and inject. It's not as dangerous, but it is very dangerous if you don't know anything about the injector, what they're injecting, and it's not in a medical establishment. Those are all huge red flags that I would tell you, run the other way and do not get anything injected to your face at that house. I think in closing, I would say,
don't do it. Don't do it, guys. I'm not talking to you, Team Elvis. I'm talking to any people that are watching this, that are considering anything like this. Obviously, cosmetic-y, surgery, silicone-y, Botox-y. Anyone that comes across this live stream that is thinking about doing stuff like this, don't do it, guys. I'm not talking to Team Elvis. I'm talking to people that just stumble across this.
That in the case of Priscilla Presley, she's a beautiful woman, and in that case, the golden rule is broken in medicine. First rule is do no harm. This harmed her. She had things injected to her face. She may not have been aware of what the long-term complications were going to be, that it was going to permanently be there forever, and eventually form lumps and bumps in her face. So I think it's very brave for her to admit that this happened to her, because hopefully videos like this and other information will get out there to warn people not to inject it into their face. And I think one good thing is hopefully we'll see less and less and less of this because now there are other things available. So do the hyaluronic acid fillers, do the ones that dissolve, don't put permanent things in your face. So I think all of these things are a move in the right direction. And then if you unfortunately are somebody that had some of this injected into your face, know that it is very difficult to remove and you have to go to somebody experienced in removing the silicone.
So, yeah. That advice is brilliant. So if you're going to do it, you can get ones that dissolve. I didn't know that. So there must be ones that are much safer. I still say don't do it. Emily says about the parents. Do you know what? I don't know what it's like in America, but in England, once you reach 18, the parents... One of the most common things my daughter says to me, she's about to turn 19. She's going to Egypt on Monday, by the way, with another family. But when I speak to my daughter, of course I still parent her, yeah, one of the most common things she says to me is, Dad, I'm 18, I can do what I want. Like, she had a very thin tattoo done down her spine. I begged her not to do it. I begged her not. My daughter's beautiful, you're stunning, yeah, I begged her not to do it. She still did it because once they're 18, they're literally saying, I'll do what I want. So, I mean, the tattoo was beautiful, but I wish you didn't do it. Yeah, you know what I mean, guys. We don't want our kids covering themselves in bloody tattoos. Is that what? So, Pat, they do it on a show on Bravo. Come on, let's face it, guys. Priscilla has ruined her looks with the plastic surgery. I also think she's been very unlucky with her choices. Yeah, this doctor, what's his name? Serrano sounds like an absolute nightmare and deserves to be in prison. Let's listen a bit more on this, guys.
You can't really liposuction it out of the face or other areas because, again, it's incorporated and scarred into the tissue. It's very difficult to remove, and only one way to remove it is to surgically excise the actual silicone and scar tissue. And again, in the face, extremely difficult. If it's in your lips, like I said previously, probably possible and a little less scary and dangerous. But again, find somebody who's experienced and knows how to remove the silicone safely and effectively.
This guy is brilliant, isn't he? Gary Mataiki, your advice is brilliant. We appreciate it. We appreciate it.
May have predated the widespread use of the internet, so who knows how they were finding credibility with these type of treatments. But in today's world, we hear about new devices and treatments all the time. Like, we did a video on that. I think it's called the HyaPen. It's the hyaluronic acid pen that advertises no needle injections, or no needle filler, excuse me. What's the barometer for determining?
Okay, I think we've heard, yes, so Karen, yeah. Karen, my daughter's nearly 19, but she's like 14, yeah. But she don't listen. She don't listen. Come on, we've all been through it, guys. They do what they want to do. I wish my daughter wasn't going to Egypt, but I couldn't stop her. She's going on Monday for a week with her friends, family, but I wish she wasn't going, but they know better. Right, so now let's just quickly look at Priscilla. Let's see if I want to just see if we can just let's see if we can find a before and after. Let's see what comes up, guys. We need it on a video. Let's have a look. Let's see if this shows it. But that's just not nice, is it, guys? Let's have a look. What we want to see is, let's go to YouTube. I prefer it on YouTube, guys. Oops, I've lost the picture. You lost the picture, right? Okay, let's have a look. Is it gonna? Let's get YouTube up. Right, are you seeing this? Probably not. Let me just get it up first. Priscilla before and after. Okay. Let's see what we can find. Now, let me just get it up on screen first. Is it coming up? Let me just make sure you guys can see it. Hi, Lorna. My niece is 24, nose piercing, but no tattoos, laugh out loud. She just landed in Dublin with my mum and sister for 5 days on an Irish holiday. I was up tracking their flight on flight. Yeah. Frederick, we can't help it, can we? We can't help it. We're very protective, aren't we? That's the way we all are, isn't it, guys? Even when they're 40, we still want to protect them. Okay, I think she, with her money, she could have paid for the best, and certainly not at a party. I believe she did. Yeah, I agree. If you're that wealthy, don't try and save money on your plastic surgery. Come on. Priscilla Presley, of all people, should not have tried to save money on the plastic surgery. I don't, did she? I don't know, but if she did. So I know that Karen, she was really pretty. I don't have anything against anyone doing this, especially in Hollywood. There is pressure to remain young and beautiful. Yeah. Look, my wife's friends are in their 40s. Yeah. And they're all doing it. They're all doing it. They're all weird creams that I think are quite toxic. But lots of Botox, lip fillers, forehead, eyes. I don't agree with any of it. I always say to my wife, don't do what your friends do. Don't do what your friends do. I always say it to her. Let's have a look at this one, guys.
Priscilla Presley was once a victim of an unlicensed doctor, according to her spokesperson. After an investigation into Dr. Serrano's misconduct, which led to his imprisonment, Priscilla has since moved on, with everything now well. Priscilla Presley was once a victim of an unlicensed doctor, according to her spokesperson. After an investigation into Dr. Serrano's misconduct, which led to his imprisonment, Priscilla has since moved on, with everything now well.
Not good, guys. Let's have a look.
Priscilla Presley as the irrepressible Jane. Had to add another half. Priscilla Presley as the
Let's have a look at this.
Love me
I can't listen to that.
tender.
Sorry, we just played that one. I'm not listening to Elvis singing Love Me Tender to Priscilla. I'm not going to do it. Let's have a look. Right, here we are. Is this the one we just watched, or is this a different one? Let me just check it. Right, here we are.
As a legendary beauty, it's no doubt. But she has undergone plastic surgery in the past,
Right,
and
second,
some
guys.
believe that she may have gone too far. It's been speculated over the years that the 77-year-old could have had facelifts, a rhinoplasty, cheek implants or fillers, plenty of Botox, and more. But Priscilla got more obsessed with going under the knife after she was diagnosed with skin cancer. Furthermore, some of the surgeries she underwent in the past left Priscilla with some bad side effects. The love story between Elvis and Priscilla Presley still fascinates people to this day. Not to mention Graceland, the famous home where the couple once lived in Tennessee, is one of the top tourist attractions in the USA. Priscilla went on to be an actress and businesswoman after her marriage to Elvis, including starting her own fragrance line and clothing boutique, as well as being the mastermind behind transforming Graceland into the renowned tourist destination that it is today. In addition to her work at Elvis Presley Enterprises, the widow of Elvis had quite a successful acting career. Priscilla had a starring role in all 3 Naked Gun
Right, sorry guys, someone's at the door. Let's keep going.
films and played the role of Jenna Wade in the iconic TV series Dallas. Priscilla
Right, let me just read some of your comments quickly. Let's have a look. Karen, my daughter has 8 tattoos, unfortunately, etc. Yeah, don't get me wrong, guys. Tattoos can look beautiful on girls. Because I'm old-fashioned, I don't like them. I've got a tattoo here that I was talked into by a friend, which I regret. Yeah, I regret. I do say to my daughter, you do know that when you're like 50, 60, you're not going to like these tattoos. She's like, I'm right, Dad, do what I want. So, yeah. She used to have a beautiful smile where her upper teeth were quite prominent. Now they rarely ever show. Even when smiling, she tends to tip her head down to avoid showing her smile. So this is EO. EO. Hi, EO. Welcome to Team Elvis. We love it when new people join us. Have you been on our show before? You're very welcome. Thank you for your comment. Frederick Smith. I had various girlfriends with a few small little tattoos in the late 40s and 50s, but the millenniums under 45 took tattoos to a higher level. Yeah. I'm not against tattoos, guys. I'm more just not on my children. Not on my kids. Do any of you feel that way? The most tattoos I've ever saw on a woman is in Athens. So EO, Hollywood pressure to look more youthful and natural age causes these beautiful women to subject themselves to butchering by unscrupulous plastic surgeons. And this is a classic example.
Priscilla has also always been admired for her beauty, but she has had multiple plastic surgery procedures to give her the look she has today at age 77. Some fans believe she's gone too far, and
she definitely has gone too far.
Priscilla was also reportedly once one of the victims of the infamous Dr. Daniel Serrano, who was sentenced to
So it's Daniel Serrano.
18 months in jail for using
18 months? Are you kidding? Should have been like 20 years.
Substances on his patients that weren't approved by the FDA. Priscilla Presley, no doubt, was always a stunning and effortless beauty from her early days in the spotlight as a teen to her more recent years in her 70s. Fans always loved her trendy style and electrifying personality. In 2022, Priscilla was still shining during several red carpet events to promote the biographical musical film Elvis, and she attended the Met.
So look, right, so I want to try and do this tastefully, yeah? Okay. Sorry, guys, I know I keep saying I don't want to call her names and that. I want to try and find a way where we can discuss this. Obviously, if you look, this is a pretty clear picture here, isn't it? How can I say this without sounding mean? Her face looks lumpy. Her cheeks now aren't matching, are they? All of the whole chin area. Can I say it, guys? The whole of her chin. Oh, it isn't right, is it, guys? It isn't right. Her lips, I think without lipstick would probably not look good. Obviously, the skin is smooth. You can see she's had it all Botoxed, all siliconed, whatever you call it. So the cheeks are smooth. The forehead is smooth. If you look at her hands in this picture, I don't know how well you can see it, guys, but her hands look like the hands of a woman who's going to be in her 80s soon. She's got a slim figure, hasn't she? She's a very petite person. She's got nice hair. For her age, her hair is good. She's got pretty eyes. Pretty eyes, but it's hard to talk about, guys. It's a difficult one. What do you think? What do you think about this image, guys? Put it in the comments. So, Debbie, she should have aged naturally. Cherie, 2 out of 3 of my grown-up kids are covered in tattoos. I asked them not to, but all they have, I don't see them that often. They say each one means something to them. Look, yeah, I'm not trying to be against tattoos. I'm saying for my kids, if I could stop them, I would. I'd rather they didn't. Maybe I'm old-fashioned. That's just me. My wife doesn't have any tattoos. My wife does not have any tattoos. Yes, I think it's pretty clear from your comments that most of our kids have had them. Haven't they, guys? Most of our kids have had tattoos. You might the outside, but you can't change on the inside. The organs are still old. My daughter's tattoos are in memory of her daughter she lost. Oh, that's really sad. Yeah, I understand. I understand. I think these tattoos are going to look awful, though, when the skin ages. It was temporarily I did it. Her hair may be a wig or a hairpiece, as she's not young and hair does thin out. Yeah, Emily, I think that's possible. Emily. So, Io, have you joined us before, my friend? Have you joined us before?
At gala with the cast in a sleek black gown. While her incredible fashion moments left everyone speechless, the mom of two was just happy to see her late ex-husband's story be told in a new light. Back in the
At least she called him an ex-husband. She's probably got two late ex-husbands, isn't it? Because we all think that she did marry Marco Garibaldi.
60s, Priscilla was known as Elvis's girl back home.
Right, are we going to hear a bit of bashing here? Yeah, let's see if she goes down the road of making Elvis look bad. Let's see what happens.
In these photos, the then 16-year-old can be seen posing with a portrait of Elvis in uniform, who is serving in the U.S.
Well, at least she said she was 16 years old.
Army at West Germany at the time. The couple began dating just 6 weeks prior to his departure from Germany when the United States Army discharged him. While she was dating Elvis, Priscilla got a more glamorous style than ever, and she often
While she was dating Elvis, Priscilla got a more glamorous start as ever. Let's keep going.
rocked the signature big hair that was so popular in the 60s, as well as dark eye makeup, which her beau Elvis reportedly loved. Priscilla.
So from the research I've had, Priscilla loved the beehive hair and the dark makeup because it made her look older. Now, did Elvis love it? Maybe. I mean, I think she looks really pretty with her makeup and hair like that.
Donned this style as well at her and Elvis's wedding on May 1st, 1967 in Las Vegas, where they looked happy.
You're very welcome, Io. I hope you're enjoying our live streams. Our live streams can get a bit heated. We do have some complex topics. You'll get used to it. We do have a bit of drama, but welcome to our channel.
Happier than ever. Later in 1974, Priscilla was looking flawless for an exclusive photo shoot for her.
I mean, look how beautiful she looks there. Come on, guys, look. You know, we can all see that. How old is she there? This probably is up close to the divorce, just after the divorce. She was a very, very beautiful woman.
Her clothing shop, Bis & Beau Boutique at the time. She has such enviable long flowing locks of brunette hair. A year later, Priscilla showed off her slim figure and blonde hair.
I mean, look, that's a good looking woman, yeah? So let me just check your comments. Yeah, stop with the tattoos. Yeah, Jean. My son had a large tattoo on his back, photo of his niece he lost. Oh, see? I understand why people do tattoos for, you know, for special reasons, yeah? I don't think she married Navarone's dad. She had a child from Marco. Well, Debbie, the research we've had is she did marry Marco Garibaldi. We've even got pictures of the engagement ring, and there are witnesses that say she did marry him. So the more research we do, the more we find out. I think we should do a whole topic on, did Priscilla marry Marco Garibaldi Garcia? Yeah, not now. I think that we are going to do a topic on that. Debbie, yeah? Does anyone here think Priscilla married Marco Garibaldi? Right, let's have a look. As I was reading about Scylla's recent big Europe trip, I can see what an entourage she has. The news, she grossed 1 million last year and seems like a lot, but she has to pay them all. Yeah. And, Frederick, how much is she paid cash when they're signing these autographs? So, who knows, my friend? Who knows? All alleged for entertainment purposes. It's the generation and trends, everything. The tattoos artists are clever. I'll give them that. They can do 3D drawing, etc. Changing things is a scary though, yeah. Pamela, how are you? She is good looking, but most beautiful woman in the world. Yeah, I mean, I'm a man, yeah. To me, she is one of the most beautiful women that ever lived. Honestly, guys. But that doesn't mean I'm happy with her, the way she's treated Lisa and Elvis and Riley. I'm disgusted how she treats the bloodline, yeah? I don't care how beautiful Priscilla is, or was, yeah? I am very upset with Priscilla. Her wrongdoing to Elvis and his bloodline is terrible. Terrible. I could tell you, well, no, I do tell you, every day we come up with different things that Priscilla has done wrong to Elvis, to Lisa, to Riley. Yeah? So I don't care how beautiful Priscilla is and was. It doesn't change what's happened. It doesn't undo the wrongdoing. So please don't get things wrong, guys. Just because I say Priscilla is one of the most beautiful women that ever lived doesn't mean that I support her, because I do not. I do not support Priscilla. I'm very upset with Priscilla. I demand an apology to the Elvis fans, to Elvis's family for her behavior. Yeah. I'm disgusted how she treats Lisa Marie and treated Lisa Marie, and now Riley, and even Finley and Harper, taking money out of their pockets. So let's keep going, guys.
In a swimsuit shoot at her Beverly Hills home. In the 80s, Priscilla went back and forth between brown and blonde hair, but she still always made a...
See, look, obviously that is quite a sexual picture. Yeah? She's sort of half naked, showing off her legs, feet, arms, shoulders, you name it. It's a sexual pose, yeah? Now, should I tell you what worries me about this? A picture like this, yeah? Elvis wouldn't like that, would he? He wouldn't like that. Remember, Elvis married. No matter what the reasons are, Elvis was pressured into getting married, I feel. I don't think Elvis wanted to get married. That's my opinion. But would he have liked his ex-wife to do pictures like this? I don't think so. I mean, don't forget, we are talking about the 1970s, yeah? So things were very different in the 1970s. I don't think any man in the 1970s would be happy with a picture like this. I know that things have changed, you know. We're in modern times now. What is acceptable now is very different than what was acceptable in the 70s. Now, even my wife, if my wife was dressed like this in photo shoots around the world, I don't think I would like it. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned, guys. I personally wouldn't like it. Some people are going to call me sexist. I just don't like the thought of my wife, who had my children, being half naked in photo shoots. Don't like it. Tell me if I'm wrong, guys, please.
Appearances looking chic and glamorous. It wasn't until the 90s that it looked like Priscilla could have started getting some work done to her face, but she hasn't.
Okay, so no, I think she's going to start talking about she getting some work done to her face. So does she look like she's had work there? I would say yes. I think her skin has been smoothed out. So the forehead, there's no lines at all. The cheeks are very smooth. The chin is very smooth. She's probably in her late 40s here, yeah? So let's keep going.
Fully hid her plastic surgery experiences over the years either. In 2008, Priscilla appeared on season 6 of Dancing with the Stars, and she showed off her dance moves. While she and her partner didn't win, she still won viewers' hearts and looked amazing in the process. In 2017,
guys, is that true? I never watched any of this. So when Priscilla was in, obviously this is America, isn't it, guys? So when Priscilla was in this, did she win public affection? Was she any good at dancing?
We could see that Priscilla still maintains her enviable figure no matter what time had passed. Like this occasion when she attended Politicon. 2 years later in 2019, Priscilla also looked like she hadn't even aged when she's...
So, guys, I would say she's had work done here, yeah? Do we agree? To me, I think there's quite a big difference, yeah? I would say this is probably after the Dr. Serrano had worked on her, yeah?
Stepped out for the Rescue Los Angeles Gala. And we also love that she supports the Humane Society of the United States. Priscilla's fans know that while she's
But here we are. Can we compare the two guys? 100%. What I will say, in the picture on my left, there are no lines. There are no lines. She's had work done to get rid of all the lines. What is it? Is it Botox? Is it what? 100% she's had work done there. I would say even her eyes look a bit smaller. What do you think, guys?
remained beautiful as can be. She's also been the subject of many rumors over the years surrounding plastic surgery, further suffering at the hands of an infamous phony plastic surgeon. But let's look a little closer and see what work Priscilla did have done to change her appearance. By the
Okay, so let's have a little look. Let's see. Obviously, I don't know this YouTube channel. Let's see what happens. Obviously, she promotes different fragrances, doesn't she? What is this one? Does anyone know what this fragrance is called? I mean, she looks pretty natural here. The only thing I would say in this picture is that there are no lines. No lines. None. Not even one. She has a completely line-free face. She could be in her 50s, couldn't she, in this picture?
the early 1990s, Priscilla dyed her hair back to her signature dark brown and reportedly began to experiment with plastic surgery, while in 1996 she made headlines for appearing to get Botox.
So, okay, 1986, this is a Botox thing, yeah? So let's work it out. Should we get her date of birth up? I think it's 1945, wasn't it? Is it May 1945? Let's have a look. Priscilla, date of birth. I'm pretty sure it's May 1945. Let's have a look. Yeah, so 24th of May, 1945. 24th of May, 1945. She's going to be 80 on the 24th, yeah? So, let's work it out, guys. Did it say 1986? So, she would be 41 in this picture. Does that sound right to you guys?
Botox injections. In 2000, Priscilla went blonde again and also possibly started to get...
So this is 2000, okay? So in this picture, she is 55. 55. Now, come on, guys. There's no way you can have no lines at 55. So it's pretty obvious the whole of her face has been Botoxed. I think she looks fine in this picture. Yes, the wrinkles are all gone for whatever procedures she's had. But I would say it's after this where the damage is done by Dr. Serrano, yeah?
cheek implants as well as facial fillers. Priscilla had a long public history of getting cosmetic surgeries, but after her cancer scare, it apparently got worse. A source said, Priscilla was already a slave to surgery. She's constantly running back to the surgeon's office asking for more work. And
so is that true, guys? Did she have a lot of procedures done?
Apparently, Priscilla was quote-unquote very self-conscious about any scarring and asking doctors to give her the works. Reportedly, this obsession from her skin cancer...
So this is obviously Loose Women in England. In England, there's a program called Loose Women. She's on here. She's famous on this interview for admitting that she did still have sex with Elvis after the baby was born. Yeah, so this clip they still slept together after the baby was born. So this clip has been used again and again. But I would say, obviously we know there's no lines. She doesn't want any lines on her face. That's very clear. But I would say that the bottom half from here down, it does feel a bit, it doesn't look natural. There we are. That's a nice way of putting it. From here down, it looks slightly out of shape and bumpy. From here up, the thing that looks unusual is that there are no lines. No lines at all.
Her scare caused the star to be fixated on her scars after she had a surgery that removed...
Let me go back on that picture because I think... Let me go back on that
caused
picture.
the star...
So I think this picture is a bit more realistic. I think you can see that something is very unnatural there. Yeah. Now, please, anyone watching this, I'm not trying to insult Priscilla. We're discussing the damage that plastic surgery, that these different treatments, these silicone injections, Botox, etc., the long-term damage that can happen to someone.
To be fixated on her scars after she had a surgery that removed cancerous tissue from her nose.
Right, I didn't know that. So she had a procedure. That's why that picture exists. She had cancerous tissue removed from her nose.
Priscilla had been somewhat open about her decision to undergo plastic surgery in the past, including in a 2008 interview.
See here, she looks fine, doesn't she? Yeah, I would say she looks pretty there. The short hair actually suits her, the bob. She's got pretty eyes. I would say, obviously, you can see there's been a lot of work done. It does, this area does still look a bit slightly not right. But she looks pretty there.
Interview when she talked about the botched work that she had done that caused lumps and partial paralysis in her face. This was back
Oh, I'd like to see that. So is there an interview where she actually talks about it? I'd like to see that.
in 2003, and it was an injectable scam that Priscilla fell victim to, among many others. An Argentinian doctor based in Beverly Hills, Daniel Serrano, caught the attention of many Hollywood A-listers by
So obviously this is the guy that done the damage, yeah?
promising them injections that were better than Botox. In reality, this infamous Dr. Serrano injected low-grade industrial silicone into his patients' faces. Silicone that was similar to the kind used to lubricate auto parts. This earned the
I mean, come on, that's horrific. Isn't that horrific, guys?
shady doctor the nickname Dr. Jiffy Lube. These toxic materials were injected into Priscilla's face as well, costing between $300 to $500 each. The non
Is that all? God. $300 to $5. Why is she dealing with a doctor or a fake doctor that is charging hundreds of dollars for treatments? Come on. This is a multi-millionaire. Yeah? It's almost like she was trying to save money. That is how ridiculous it sounds.
FDA-approved injections left paralysis, lumps, and even holes in the skin of their victims.
To hear that, even holes in the skin. I mean, I think she's reading off the interview we've just played off.
Priscilla underwent corrective surgery in 2008. Meanwhile, Serrano was charged in 2004, sentenced to 18 months in jail, pled guilty.
So corrective surgery was done as well. So I think we're coming to the end of this live stream now, guys. Let's just let this play a bit longer. I think we've discussed this topic enough. I don't want to really push this topic. I feel a bit uncomfortable doing this topic, but I do think it's something we should have addressed together, you know, with Team Elvis.
Guilty to conspiracy, smuggling, and use of unapproved drugs in 2006, and was voluntarily deported back to Argentina a year later. By
All right, so he was deported and voluntarily back to Argentina a year later after serving his time, yeah?
2010, Priscilla still seemed to have an ever-changing appearance, though.
So I think this picture is a bit odd, yeah? But, you know, come on, you're about to turn 80. You're trying to look 20. It's never going to look right, guys. An 80-year-old is never going to look 20. It's not going to happen. All humans get the cease either side of the nose to the side of the mouth. We women get the fillers to try and get rid of it, but it always looks unnatural. No, the women get the fillers to try and get rid of it. Linda Thompson does it as well. I have noticed that, Sandra. She didn't need plastic surgery in the first place. Some people are so afraid to get old, yeah? It's true, guys. That's what she do with Elvis's money. I still think it's sad, isn't it? Do you know what? Isn't it just sad that people resort to this? I just think, you know, we're not just talking about Priscilla here, are we? This is like thousands and thousands of people, tens of thousands of people who feel pressured to try to stay looking in their 20s. Very sad. Very sad.
By this time, it was thought that she had undergone a facelift, a brow lift, as well as started with some lip injections. The most
So a facelift, a brow lift. Don't forget, the new thing now is everyone's getting their teeth done, aren't they? You know, I think they call them turkey teeth. Have you heard of that, guys? You go to Turkey and get all your teeth done. But they look odd. They look odd.
most noticeable plastic surgery Priscilla seems to have done is the cheek implants, which was a big change to her face.
I didn't know about that. Is that true, guys? Put it in the comments. Did she have cheek implants? I've never heard of that. First time I've heard that. We know how Priscilla is when it comes to money, but must have been horrific for her. She depends on her looks. Yeah. Yeah, we don't wish it on anyone, but did she have cheek implants? I didn't know that.
It seems that she also kept up with Botox injections over the years. One cosmetic surgeon,
Yeah, I mean, she's had Botox her whole life. It's pretty obvious, isn't it, guys?
Dr. Andrew Miller, who doesn't treat Priscilla, theorized, it appears that she has had a fair amount of fillers to her cheeks and probably Botox to her forehead. If that's the case, it's not that invasive. Another doctor also added, looks like she definitely had the help of fillers and Botox. She also may have
But come on, it's obvious, isn't it, guys? It's obvious.
had a well-done facelift, but it's hard to tell, and that's how a facelift should be. It's also thought that Priscilla could have gotten a rhinoplasty over the years because
See, that I've not heard of that, that she had a rhinoplasty. Let's have a look. Lisa did herself weight loss surgery, and the same as, yeah, she didn't. Serious enough weight issue, yeah. Well, they say that the weight loss surgery event is what ultimately led to her death, don't they, guys? Lisa Marie. So, just don't do it, guys. Don't do it. I know at the moment there's an injection going around that people are having. It's quite big in England now. This injection, I can't remember what it's called. It stops you having an appetite, so you lose weight. And it works. I know a few people have had it that I know. But who knows the side effects? You know, if you make your body not want to eat anymore, that can't be right. Cannot be right. So I don't know if you guys are getting it in America.
as the scoop and the tip on her nose are very refined, and this petite shape is usually achieved with cosmetic surgery. Dr. Anthony Yoon also agreed that there are clear signs of a facelift on Priscilla's face, and she also seems to have had some skin resurfacing treatments done.
I agree with that. It's obvious. So Jean says a lot of these stars have parties that we call them Botox parties, and they would all get Botox shot in their face. The guy was invited to the party. He would put silicone in their face. It's bloody horrible, guys. Disgusting. I hate it. Really horrible. I think that could probably be true, to have the cheek implants. They look awful. You might be right, Kate. She looks like, yeah. Sandra, I understand your comment.
Brow lift was probably done about a decade ago, so while that changed her look completely then, these days it's settled a lot more and she doesn't look as intense. As recently as 2022, it was speculated that Priscilla Presley's plastic surgery history includes multiple facelifts and laser treatments, as well as lip and cheek fillers. But at the
A lot of work, guys. I mean, my guess is that Priscilla with no makeup on, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. That's my guess, guys. I think she needs a lot of makeup to make herself look a bit more natural. Yeah, I mean, she can only look so natural. There's too much damage done. Now, if anyone's watching this, joining us, please don't think I'm here to insult Priscilla or call Priscilla names. I'm not. This is just a topic that came up. I think to cover it once is going to be okay. It's not a topic I want to do again. It's a one-off. It is interesting, definitely, very interesting.
At the end of the day, none of her surgeries have been fully confirmed. We can only guess. It's also likely that many changes in Priscilla's appearance could also be attributed to the aging process. I mean, she is nearing her late 70s now.
Now, obviously, this picture, you can really see, she's got very pretty eyes, doesn't she, guys? But you can really see the damage here, I think. I think there's a lot of makeup on her face to try and make it all okay. I bet you without makeup, it's not good. It's not good. Come on, guys. We don't wish that on anyone, do we? Really? Do we? No, I don't think so. I'll be honest with you, I'm heartbroken that this kind of stuff goes on, that this kind of stuff happens to people, that people are so paranoid and insecure and obsessed with looking younger that they harm themselves so badly. It's pretty scary. It's my worst nightmare that this would happen to my children. So a very uncomfortable live stream to do, but I also think maybe we will help people. The advice that I give, Team Elvis give, is don't do it. Don't do it. If you're thinking of doing it, don't do it. If you've got a friend that wants to do it, talk them out of it. Don't let it happen, guys.
One thing's for sure, Priscilla Presley has always been a beauty for the ages, and regardless of what work she has or hasn't had done, she looks great for.
Yeah, so EO says, thanks for addressing her plastic surgeries, as it pains me as a woman what these celebrities go through to stay relevant. Wayne Newton, Michael Giuseppe. Yeah, so yes, Dan's the look, but yeah, it's not a good look. I agree. It makes them look worse. The makeup is covering a lot.
.77. But for today, that's going to wrap up our before and after video. Before we go,
well, thank you to this young lady. I'm just going to see if we can get her name of her channel. This is Famous ENT. Let's give her a subscribe and a like. And let's give her a thank you in the comments. If let's go back. Let's see if I can get the other one up and thank the doctor as well. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can find it, guys. Very interesting. We managed to sort of say what we wanted to say.
Hi, I'm Dr. Gary Modicki.
In 2 videos. So let me just say thank you to, his name is Dr. Gary Matiki. Yeah. So any thoughts that you have, please leave it in the comments. Thank you to Dr. Gary Matike, a good looking doctor. So we've covered it, guys. She was the plastic surgery pioneer of Hollywood stars. Phyllis Diller. George Klein said Elvis had surgery and paid for. Believe it or not, we've actually gone through. We've done some live streams about Elvis and things that he may have had done. There's a bit of a disagreement there. Some say he did, some say he didn't. We've got some people give evidence that he did, and some people that he didn't. So, but that's for another day, guys. Right. So what I want to do is have a little break, and then I'm going to come back. Yeah, I know the story. Karen, I know the story. He tested it on George Klein first, and then that's a different story. Yeah. So I want to come back in 20 minutes and do another live, and then I'm going to spend the day outside. I haven't even chose a topic yet. It's going to be something that has been sent to me by one of you guys. So, you know, to Team Elvis, please don't see this live stream that I'm trying to support Priscilla. I'm not. Yeah. We are just discussing another aspect of Priscilla Presley's life. I would like to think that this live stream, hopefully with Team Elvis, will prevent someone. Yeah, you sent it me, Karen. I remember. Right, we just had a last minute top message before I go. 000I. Do you think Scylla's face was targeted? I don't know what you mean. Do you want to quickly expand on that? Welcome to Team Elvis. We always welcome new people. What country are you in? Are you an Elvis fan? So 000I. I'm going to give you a chance to comment again before we go. Do we think Priscilla's face was targeted. I'm not sure what that means. What do you mean? Please expand on that question. Then I'm going to go and come back in 20 minutes. Okay, guys? So thanks to all of you. Let me just see who's here. We've got Jean and Deborah and Karen and Teresa and Sandra and Frederick and Pamela, Josie, Dan. Thanks all of you for joining in. It has been interesting. EO, welcome EO, our new, another new person. Emily, Rosalind. How are you, Rosalind? Let's have a look. My grandfather took some injections for a while and they made her feel very sick. That's some severe diarrhea. She had to stop. Thank you, Rosalind. So I've only just seen that comment. So we've got, let's have a look. Have I missed anyone? No, I think that's everyone. Obviously, there's a lot of people watching. There's over 40 people watching. Thank you for watching, guys. Lorna's here. I think Lorna's gone. Pat is here. Of course, Karen, Cherie, Pamela, Debbie Floors, Kate has been here as well. So thanks all of you for joining in, guys. I hope I haven't missed any names. So yes, you have more research to do. Yeah. Trust me, I'm no expert. I say this as much as I can. Please don't treat me as an Elvis expert. I am not. Please don't treat me as a Priscilla expert. I am not. Yeah. I'm just a fan at home in Southwest UK who discusses different topics to do with Elvis and Lisa Marie and Bloodline. That's all I am. I haven't been to Elvis school or Priscilla school. If I get my facts wrong, it's because I'm not an expert. See, Elaine will tell me off now. All right, guys. Take care, everyone. I think that's it. Right, 20 minutes. I'm hoping to come back. Hoping. Okay? Take care, everyone. Carry on commenting when we end the live stream, and then I'll come back in 20 minutes. I'll put the link up soon, okay? Yeah, so I'll quickly answer. Uwe, can you tell us your name, where you're from? Because I always like to address people by their name. And I like to know what country people are in. 100%, I do not believe for a second that Elvis is alive. Kalamazoo. Where is that? Where is Kalamazoo? What is your name? 100% no, Elvis is not alive. He's not alive. Come on, guys. He's not alive. One day we may do a live stream on it. Come on, it's ridiculous to think. Oh, that's interesting, Uwe. It's ridiculous to think Elvis is alive. Come on. Now, Elvis is not Bob Joyce. Yeah. Now, Bob Joyce has actually messaged me directly. I've spoke to Bob Joyce. He himself has told me he is not Elvis. There's also an interview. There is also an interviews on YouTube. Bob Joyce saying he is not Elvis. Please don't think Bob Joyce is Elvis. Hi, Linda in Australia. How are you? Oh, I didn't know that. Michigan. Thank you, Deborah. Deborah, you're awake. Okay, guys. I think that's it. Well, nice to meet you from Kalamazoo, and EU, the other new person. Thank you for joining us. We love new people to join us. No, sorry, Uwe. Sorry, it's not happening. I know many people are convinced. I know another channel that no, I'm being silly. All right, guys. Take care. You carry on.